I am Caroline Worthington Stone, born 1861, the first child of Lewis Palmer Worthington and Louisa Abigail Cook, and a descendant of one of the oldest European families to settle here in Bucks County. As a child, I counted among my friends the Watson sisters. The family name Watson will likely ring familiar if you are here today. I wasn't certain as to what my role might be that spring night in 1895 when I joined a small but mighty river of women coursing into Isabella Watson's newly formed women's group. But I left some hours later, having been appointed to quite a notable position as chair of the Street Sprinkler Committee of the new Village Improvement Association. An entire committee devoted to a street sprinkler? Why on earth? Because just as my father had left his Buckingham farm for a bank position, other fathers and brothers were trading in their sack coats for waistcoats and more lucrative careers in Doylestown. And with more people came a host of issues around the cleanliness and healthfulness of our beautiful village. That is what brought us all to the first public meeting of the BIA in Lenape Hall, called together around a single mission: to improve the quality of life in town. Our attention first turned to the dust from the horses crowding our streets. Who could utter a pleasantry to a passing neighbor without falling into fits of coughing? And now I was in charge of procuring a street sprinkler to, you could say, put a damper on the situation. Raising funds for the purchase? Simple. Hiring an operator? Easy. However, 'twas a challenge convincing the men on the Borough Council to sell water, a public utility, to a private women's organization. But oh, the cheers the first day the sprinkler rolled up and down the streets of our charming and cleaner village. And water, it seemed, would be a recurring motif in my life, because the following year I met my husband while vacationing with my parents in Poland Springs, Maine, which is, of course, famous for its spring water. I did not go looking for love, yet that first Sunday, that's what I found when my eyes fell on the widowed Reverend James Samuel Stone from Chicago. The next year, we were married in a widely attended ceremony, our wedding reported in newspaper articles as long as the train of my satin and fine point lace gown. My father leading me down the aisle to Mendelssohn, the same aisle my sister Mary had graced years earlier in St. Paul's Episcopal Church. St. Paul's, the center of our lives in a town that would become my beloved former home. In Chicago, I took up what charitable causes best suited a pastor's wife and returned only a few times to Doylestown, first to attend the funeral of my father. A few years later, my mother joined him, where they both now rest beside my brother George in the town cemetery. After my James died, I lived my remaining years with my stepdaughter and her family. And such is the journey of life. We arrive, we stay a while, we depart, and maybe while here, we happen upon some seeds of change that could use, oh my, pardon the pun, a good watering.